if I could get a hold of one of Granny's big jugs that had the XXX on it.
Oh, right.
And
her white lightning
take a
jugs.
couple swigs off of that. The spring tonic was something extra.
Don't Google XXX and Granny's jugs.
You will get a slightly different return on that.
You're not going to like what you find.
No.
I wonder what's on the tube.
Welcome back.
Thank you for being a friend.
What you talking about, Willis?
You are a meathead.
No soup for you.
Don't touch that dial. Adjust those bunny ears, because what time is it, Jay?
Let me tell you a little story about a man named Jay. He'll do weird things for very little pay. I mean, what? This is Sitcom My Face. I'm Jay. That's Nick. And we got some crotchety old man hanging out back here today.
Crotchety
Do
old
I
man?
know you, sir? Did you just stumble upon my new dwelling here?
Yes, I did, Jay. And you know what? Thank you for that beautiful introduction. And let's go on with the show.
I thought, I gave him so much booze today, I thought he would pass out with his mouth open. I could have a little fun, but here he sits.
Well, I was going to say, why don't you actually introduce your guest, and actually give a name? Yeah.
I've actually given
Thank
him...
you, Nick.
I've given him a few shout-outs on the show before when I
Yes.
say my buddy Kent or my coworker Kent.
Mm-hmm.
This is Kent. He's a huge fan of the show we're about to discuss.
Sweet.
And, I think I mentioned your love of the Barney Miller theme, I think, in the past. And,
yes.
And those kind of things. But this is Kent, and I've worked with you for, 17 years?
17 years, yes.
And you can't get rid of him, huh, Kent?
He keeps going to the
Like a
doctor.
leech.
Yeah, he keeps going to the doctor. There's no cure for me.
Oh, well.
But it's one of those things, you get older, they go, you're just going to have to live with it.
Well, before we, I guess, get into the meat of the show, do you want to address also the elephant in the building of, well, we just lost another great performer.
Yes, Kent also a fan. We were kind of discussing it today. We lost Paul Rubens.
Yes, better known
Pee-wee
as
Herman.
Yes.
Pee-wee Herman. As a child, I was a huge fan.
Pee-wee's
of the
Playhouse.
Pee-wee's
Yes.
Playhouse.
Oh, yeah.
I had the cherry puppet.
Oh,
I had
wow.
the chair, yeah, and I had the Pee-wee doll that you could pull the string and it would talk. Yeah, I loved that shit as a kid. I was also a big fan of him in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Yes.
One of the funniest deaths I ever run. Remember that? When he's getting stabbed in the heart with...
And don't forget him in the beginning of Meatballs. When
wow.
he was on the, not skateboard.
Dildo?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Dildo with wheels.
Yeah, something
The
with
Wildo.
wheels. Yeah, he was on the beginning of Meatballs, and that was crazy
Wow.
too. Yeah.
It's like it's so funny. He's got such a filmography that you forget some of these things that he was in.
Oh, and Reno 911, he was great on there. He was in the Reno movie, the Reno 911 Miami movie.
Right.
There's that great bit where you think Terry's lying when he's talking about his album. What's your new album called? Oh, it's called, Fuck You, Dad, or whatever. And at the end, Paul Rubens shows up as his dad. He's like, did you hear the new album?
And speaking of dad, do people remember he was the dad of the Penguin in Batman Returns?
Yeah, he was also the first...
That I don't remember.
The first Amy's brother on your favorite show, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah,
before he was replaced with, I think,
Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott came in after, right?
Yes.
I don't remember
when
how many Rubens
they started
did,
visiting the family, Amy's family, that's when Chris Elliott came in. But
they changed the name too, didn't they? Of the brother,
I believe so. Yeah, because Peter was the one when it was Chris Elliott. I forget what he was called when it was Paul Rubens, and it was in the store. Do
you have the thing I sent you that Phil Rosenthal? You want to read that? That was nice.
Oh, yeah, I did get your...
Phil Rosenthal, the show creator of Everybody Loves Raymond, actually wrote a nice little bit about Paul.
Yeah, I have it right here. Dear Paul, the world is better because you've been here. You're a genius, an artist, a unique and singular voice, and best of all, funny as hell. I've loved you since...
That is very nice.
Yeah. It's like, I've loved you since the first time I saw Pee-wee, and from that first special... Which, by the way, have you guys ever seen that first special?
I don't think so. When he was actually Pee-wee, like on HBO, you said, right?
Yes, it was an HBO special years ago with him, Captain Carl, what's his name? Phil Hartman, John.
I know Hot Carl. I don't know Captain Carl.
What is it?
I know Hot Carl. I don't know Captain Carl.
Oh, okay. Hey now. Let's see. I've loved you since that first time I saw Pee-wee, and from that first special, never missed an episode. I've bought and kept every single thing available you've done. Very few people have had the ability to create such a lovable character, plus an entire universe around it. Your entire sensibility is so brilliant and hilarious and kind-hearted. You tapped into and literally personified the joy of childhood. You were always one of my heroes and a huge influence, so we met some 25 years ago and got to work together and actually became great friends. It was blessing upon blessing. I love you. My family loves you. Your family. Thank you for being so generous and kind and caring and, above all, funny. Your impact on the world will last forever. You made my life better. And, yeah, that was a beautiful from Phil Rosenthal. And, yeah, again, we all have our, Paul Rubens memories. Like, I also remember him from
that theater?
yeah.
You were sitting right next to him? You're the one
No,
I remember from him from Pee-wee's Adventure.
Yep.
When he was on the bike and he rode his bike around. That's iconic.
Mad Marge or something?
Yeah.
Large Marge. Large.
Yep.
Tell him Large Marge sent you. and then I had just gone to a live comedy show, and one of the comedians was like a big guy, kind of heavy set, a little balding over here, and
whoa, getting a little personal.
Hey.
Getting a little personal.
Hey, sorry. Hey, look at my head.
Don't be so sensitive.
Oh God. Oh, God. Anyway,
and my friend KP, who's a comedian, was hosting. And when that guy got off, he said, it's like, doesn't he look like he knows where Pee-wee's bike is stashed because he looked like Francis?
Oh, my gosh.
It's like, doesn't he look like where he knows where Pee-wee's stolen bike is stashed?
I thought it was kind of ironic that remember who played his dad on Raymond? Would have been Fred. Fred Willard?
Yes.
Who also got caught jerking off in an adult theater.
That's kind of weird.
I said, like father, like son, huh?
Hey, there we go.
Hey, all in the family.
That's right.
Oh, wait, that's another show.
Oh,
yeah, that's a different show. We haven't gotten into the Norman Lear ones yet. Well, actually, no, Good Times, yeah. But
R.I.P. Paul Rubens. Sad news.
And
my mom even texted me because she knew how much I loved Pee-wee as a kid.
And if you want also a little callback to what you were talking about, Jay, and sitcoms, for recent sitcoms, watch in the first season of What We Do in the Shadows, where he reprises his vampire character.
From Buffy, the movie?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, the first movie version of it before the show.
Okay.
He's like the main villain vampire. Well, I think the underling of the
the top underling guy.
And he's so fucking funny. Like, he literally... He gets, like, staked in the heart or something. He has this, like, 5 minutes of him going, he's
like totally overdoing it, overselling it.
And he's like, laying there, and he's just like, so fucking funny.
Yeah,
a horror comedy.
That movie's great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I never really watched the Buffy show, but I love the Buffy movie.
That's funny.
And also, we got to mention Tony Bennett.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
The last of the crooners, as they say. And
oh, yeah. I actually got to see him back in 2016, and he still had it. Still had it.
Kent was telling me...
Lady Gaga's a Jersey girl, isn't she?
No, I believe she's a New York, not far, but like a New Yorker. But,
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, she was very close with Tony.
Yeah,
because they actually
were
did some
together.
Yeah, they sounded great.
Yep.
And he died of natural causes, correct?
Yes. Well, yeah, he had Alzheimer's, and I believe it was just a combination.
Which I forgot which comedian had the bit. He's like,
though?
Which comedian had the bit where he's like, when you get to a certain age, everything's natural causes.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Rubens, he had cancer and he was hiding it as well.
Yeah, well, just like we went over with Norm.
Yeah,
yeah, and
happening
actually
more.
And Gilbert too. Most people didn't know Gilbert was suffering too.
But
Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah. Yes,
that's another sad. Yeah, that's sad too.
We could probably do a Paul Rubens episode. Honestly,
true. That's true.
Aren't we supposed to be doing the Beverly Hillbillies though?
Oh yeah,
what a great segue!
That thing that we were.
Speaking of which, have you guys ever heard of this show that ran on CBS for 9 seasons from 62 to 71 called the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yes, and in fact, the first 2 years it aired, it was the #1 show on TV.
Right? Even though critics hated it.
Let me interject this, though. It was the only show that went from the premiere 3 weeks later to hit #1 on the charts.
Wow.
He said it was the fastest #1 show.
Fastest #1 show.
Wow. I didn't know.
The Beverly Hillbillies, yep.
I read one, and I didn't watch this episode again, but the giant jackrabbit episode with the kangaroo, they said it's the most viewed half-hour sitcom of all time.
Yes, I didn't know that until I was reading. I'm like, okay, that I thought something after that. Like I know, MASH, the finale was one of the most watched events on television ever. But again, for a half-hour sitcom, that episode, because
you would think
episode,
even like an I Love Lucy episode or something would be,
Yeah, no,
the birth of Little Ricky was a big one, something like that.
Truly. Yeah.
But wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But 9 seasons, CBS, 274 episodes of these crazy hillbilly fucks.
Really?
Dancing.
That's how much it went? Oh
274 episodes.
I didn't know that.
But for most of them, I think 272 for Jethro.
Yeah, he only missed a couple, but
yeah.
That's a lot of fucking hillbillies, man. When we started watching this, I had no fucking idea there was 9 seasons of this. And then I realized why. Because I'm the DVD collector, right?
Yep.
And all of the box sets I have, they're all in black and white, and they're only from those first 2 seasons. And why is that, Nick? Because those 2 seasons are in public domain, and the rest are not.
Oh, there we go.
So the first 36 from the first season and 19 episodes, I think it was, from the second season are public domain. The rest, no. You got to watch them on TV or buy them. I think you can buy the series digital.
Okay.
But only 5 seasons are on DVD.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
So, and I guess the DVDs are like the uncut versions, which we've talked about, like the advertising that they used to like introduce the show with or open the show with. I want to see those, but I don't want to buy just 5 seasons. I want the whole series.
Actually, the episode,
on at CBS.
The episode after the pilot, actually, they passed the Winston truck because it's brought to you by Winston.
Winston cigarettes. Oh my god, those were the worst.
Yes.
Those were the worst.
and I still remember watching.
But that's
Fred Flintstone. Him and Barney actually, selling Winston cigarettes there.
Isn't life great,
that's
Bond?
The way it was back then too.
The women are mowing the lawn and we're smoking Winston cigarettes.
Yeah.
What a life.
Yes, it isn't the it wasn't an asteroid that took out the Flintstones and the cavemen, and it wasn't all these years. It was Winston cigarettes.
The main premise of the Beverly Hillbillies, easy as can be. Classic fish out of water. You take these, what was it, the mountain people of fucking Ozarks in Missouri, Silver Dollar City, right?
Silver Dollar City.
They, we'll get to the theme song, but I think the theme song lied to me a little bit. They come into some money, and all of a sudden they decide we're going to move to Beverly Hills. Whee!
Well, now, did you watch the pilot episode?
I did, which is why I say the theme song lied to me, because the theme song says, "Let me tell you a little story about a man named Jed. Poor man named Jed." Anyway, you get to the point where one day he was shooting at some food when up from the ground came a bubble and crude. Bullshit. That's not what happened.
Yes, yeah. In the pilot episode, Cousin Pearl is talking to him because the gentleman that Ellie Mae wrestled to the ground there and threw a rock at. Mm-hmm. He was from a big oil company, and they wanted to buy the
right, but it was already there. They already knew it was there.
What was it? Pond Lake thing there? I'm trying to remember what they called it.
Marsh, or it was something. Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, like it's like already known that there's oil there.
The watering hole? I don't remember what they called it. But it wasn't like the opening scene. He's out hunting rabbits and he finds oil. It was like they were already circling over in the helicopter and we're like, "There's the oil field. It's down there." And that.
Yep.
So whether he did shoot something prior to that, we don't know.
But that's true. Yes. Yeah. The ballad of Jed Clampett there could have been like a little before like the pilot
right.
there. So
it could be.
He could have been shooting at food, hit bubble and crude. Now the stuff's filled with it. Yeah.
So they offer him $25 million, which I love that they actually continuously make money. Because in the pilot, they offer him $25 million, and then each subsequent season, Drysdale at some point mentions how much money they're worth. And it keeps going up to the point where I think the 9th season was like $100 million.
Yeah, or slightly under $100 million, like 90 something million. No, here it is, 96 million
by the final season. Yeah, that's pretty good.
But I like though how also in the pilot episode, do you remember what was actually shown as far as the title?
Oh, the Hillbillies of Beverly Hills?
Yes, the Hillbillies of Beverly Hills.
They weren't the Beverly Hillbillies yet. They were the Hillbillies of Beverly
Hills.
Yeah.
And your narrator turns out to be Mr. Drysdale.
Actually, and I think that was one of the funny things they changed, because I ended up watching a bunch of these on YouTube. I'm not sure where you watched them.
I actually, that's what I was going to ask you, because I started watching on the Roku channel, and
which
then
they only have the 2 seasons that are public domain.
And they only have the 2 seasons. I'm like, crap, hold on, wait. I thought
every streaming service has those 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because of the public domain.
I hope that you guys do another episode where you do the theme songs to...
Oh, we will. We'll do a volume 2.
So, Paul Henning was the one that wrote the Ballad of Jed Clampett. So that is very, very important to this whole series.
I think
because that was Lester Flats and Earl Scruggs that wrote that.
Because of the the public domain thing, anyone was able to release the show, but a lot of those releases did change the song because the song was still copywritten. Even though the show was in public domain, the song was not.
Mm-hmm.
So actually on YouTube, when I was rewatching a lot of them, because as we said, only the first 2 seasons are available a lot of places, unless you watch TV, like live streaming TV or whatever. Because I know Pluto TV constantly airs it. Like they're airing it 24 hours a day, but you have to be there while it's airing to watch the episode.
No, you can, with Pluto TV, you can actually watch the individual
on
episodes.
Demand?
Yep, you can.
They didn't show up on demand for me. That's weird.
They showed up for me. That's how I watched the rest of it.
See, I couldn't find them on demand.
MeTV on Charter shows it all too.
Oh yeah,
like
MeTV.
24 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their own channel. Yeah,
9 o'clock at night every night.
So I went to YouTube and I found all of the later episodes in really not great quality, but they still had the changed theme song. And I'm guessing that they changed it because of YouTube copyright.
Yeah.
So they changed it to some real shitty just banjo version, but with no words.
Oh God.
But
Earl Scruggs plays that banjo, and that guy is awesome.
Not in this version, they wasn't.
Jerry Scoggins actually was the one
Yes.
singing, but I believe Flats and Scruggs actually had their own rendition.
They played it.
Yeah, they played it, but they also had their own, like I guess, like they released the single under their own too.
Correct, but Jerry Scruggs was the one that sang it. Yeah.
They also wrote the hit "All the Single Ladies" by Beyonce.
Yes, put a ring on it. Yes.
I'm sorry.
Put some pork jowls on that.
Oh my God.
Well, should we go over the cast?
You
real
guys
quick?
have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Let's go over the cast real quick.
Yeah,
shall we?
let's go through the cast here. Playing Jed Clampett, or J.D. Clampett, is the great Buddy Epson.
Buddy Epson, yeah. Probably actually my favorite character on this show. He's so fucking dumb, yet so reserved. And so, like, classy. He feels classy in a weird way.
Yeah, but
Well, doggy.
he has a particular, for someone that, again, you know, like naive to, you know, the big city type of thing. Yeah, he has a particular wisdom always about him.
Well, so
that keeps him level-headed.
Yeah. Well, and of course, when you have 4 hillbillies,
yeah,
it would be easy for them all to feel the same.
Right.
But and Jethro and Granny are so fucking out there and over the top that I think Jeb is so perfect. The way he's just so reserved, and he never really like gets animated or crazy.
No, he's the one that always has like the cool head about him.
Even
Again,
when he thinks Granny's seeing shit or thinks Granny's crazy, he's the one who's like, "Okay, Granny, yeah, no problem. Like, I'm just gonna go with the flow and make sure everyone stays on track."
I watched the one episode where like she loves doctoring, so it's like he realized like, oh, okay, he's actually feeling well, but you know, oh yeah, he's sick, so Granny can take care of him.
Right. Whatever he needs to do to keep the family unit in line, basically.
Now, do you know Buddy Epson from other shows and such?
Not
Jen?
really. No, I don't think so.
How about you, Kent?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you would probably know him from one show, because I remember it from when I was young. Barnaby Jones.
Oh, yes. You are right. Yes.
And
I've never seen it.
Yes.
I know of it, but I've never seen it.
I forgot about that, but you are right.
But here's a little Easter egg. If you watch the Beverly Hillbillies movie from 1993...
Oh, yeah, he plays Barnaby Jones in that, doesn't he?
Yes, he plays
right.
a character called Barnaby Jones.
Oh, my gosh.
Which, just for a second, the movie is actually pretty good. With the great Ernest of the Ernest films.
Yes, Ernest. And Diedrich Bader of what was it, Office Space and...
plays Jethro, yep.
And
those are classic, yeah. Those are classic.
Jim Varney, that's the name I was
Jim
looking for.
Varney, yes.
Jim Varney played, he was Slinky Dog in the first couple
Toy
of
Story.
Toy Stories.
Yep.
Kids might know him from. Actually, I was really creeped out. Was it the 4th one? I think he might have even been dead by the 3rd one, but
he was dead. I think he was already dead. He might have been dead by the 2nd one, but they had already recorded his dialogue.
Yeah, well, whoever did him in I think it was the 4th one, Slinky Talks Again, sounds really like him. It was real creepy.
Scary. Yeah. And do you remember where the character of Ernest comes from?
It was a commercial, wasn't it?
Yep.
I don't remember for what.
Sprite.
It was a Sprite commercial? Jesus.
Yeah.
He was a great Jed Clampett, though, for the movie. And that, who was the Playboy girl? Was the Ellie Mae, right? What's her name?
Well, oh yeah, for the movie, isn't one of the Baywatch, right? What's her name?
Erica something. Erica?
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know.
Trying to remember.
I don't remember her name,
I'll
but
look it up in a
I
little
remember
bit.
them shorts.
But But in the show, she's played by Donna Douglas.
Correct.
Who I didn't realize I had also known from something else. And do you know what that is?
Your childhood fantasies? What?
Hey, now. Let's see if Kent might know this one. I didn't realize the first thing that I saw Donna Douglas in, I didn't realize it was her.
Was she a child actress?
No. She was grown up.
You know? You know her from anything else?
I don't.
Twilight Zone. Eye of the Beholder.
Seriously?
That famous episode, Eye of the Beholder, where
Eye of the Beer Holder?
Yeah, Eye of the Beer Holder.
Oh my gosh.
The one where everybody looks odd. She looks like a normal person, but because everyone else looks odd,
I do remember that because they had
fish
masks
out of water
on their head.
Yeah, she had the bandages around, and
everybody thought that she was the ugly one. Yes, I do remember that.
Donna Douglas.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that,
for that
until I was looking at this. I'm like, oh my God, that's her.
I didn't know that. That is crazy.
Oh, jumping back to Buddy Epson, did you know that he was almost in a very famous movie? Let's see if either of you know this.
He turned down some big part?
No, he didn't turn it down, per se. A little complication came of this film. From 19, I believe, what was it, 30, was it 39?
King Kong?
Which one? Oh, no, not King Kong. Good call there. But part of it's in black and white, part of it's in color.
Oh, Wizard of Oz?
39?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that's right. He was Tin Man.
He was supposed to be the Tin Man.
Oh, is he the one that had the paint poisoning
because he
or
had
something?
the problem? Yes.
Aluminum dust. The aluminum dust they were using was making him break out and actually wheeze and have all these medical complications.
I remember hearing that story, but I didn't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was Buddy Epson. He actually was originally supposed to play the Scarecrow. Then he and Ray Bolger switched, and he was going to be the Tin Man. He knew all the songs, knew all the lines. It's just he started reacting to the aluminum dust, and by the time Jack Haley came around, they actually had aluminum paste, which worked better and didn't give the reaction.
Didn't kill the actor.
Yeah, didn't kill the actor.
Great concept. Let's not murder the stars of our films. Let's be helpful.
Nicer, yeah. Why don't we also get to Granny?
Yes, Irene Ryan.
Which
I was saying, it was weird that to see that she had so much spunk in life and then she died 2 years after the show ended.
Yeah.
But she started in vaudeville.
Yeah, she was around a long time.
Correct. Yeah, I think her earliest paid gig, she was 11 years old, and for an amateur singing contest, she won $3.
Is this what she's best known for, though?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Beverly Hillbillies, yes, is her primary. Yeah, what she is known best for.
What was her name in Beverly Hillbillies? Do you know what her original name was?
What is it? Moses.
Daisy Moses.
Daisy Moses.
Daisy Moses. Yes. Yep.
I was going to go with Lily. Damn it.
That's
Lily,
okay.
Lily Noah.
That's okay, Jake.
Lily Noah.
You'll be okay. He's my buddy.
But apparently on set, they some of the rest of the cast was actually worried about her because she was a chain smoker, heavy chain smoker. And
I can believe that.
Yeah, and she wound up actually succumbing to basically a double whammy. It was a brain tumor and a what is it for the lungs, I believe.
Like pneumonia?
Well, I remember in the 1960s when her and Jed were sitting. Do you remember the Clampett whole house? And the kitchen, they were sitting at the kitchen table, and Jed lit up a cigarette and said, these are, I can't remember what brand it was for, but her and
Winston?
Jed sat at, they sat at the kitchen table and Jed lit one up and handed one to Granny, and she said, she took a puff and, ooh, this is really good. And it was a commercial for a cigarette.
Yeah,
Lucy always did the
And
Philip
it probably,
Morris ones.
you're right, Nick, it probably was for Winston.
Winston, the sponsor of
Yeah,
the
Lucy and
Beverly
Desi
Hillbillies.
always had call for Philip Morris. And they had the little
Right.
the little guy come out with the little bellboy or whatever.
I wonder when, like, promotional, within the show, like, when that kind of stopped. I wonder when that
it was still big in variety shows, I think, through the 70s for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Variety shows, yes.
yeah.
Because the Marlboro Man was big too.
Mhm.
Yeah. But as far as the sitcoms themselves, I think I want to say it may have ended in the 60s, but continued, like you said, with the variety shows or live shows, whatever, where you would have like sort of a live product placement promotion.
Yeah, it was so weird watching. Like, I watched a couple of the last season ones this morning, and you're like, man, she's so full of life. How did Irene Ryan die right after this?
Yeah, she was also known apparently for the Broadway musical Pippin. She had starred in, and then apparently, like, while doing that is when she passed.
Well, we talked about that on the Everybody Loves Raymond episode too, with the dad, Frank Barone.
Oh yeah, Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle. He didn't even make it a year, I don't think, after that show
After
ended.
the show, now, unfortunately.
You go, wow,
That's sad.
it's very sad.
But you see also in the later seasons of Raymond where most of his acting is done from basically sitting down.
Yeah, you pointed that out, and I was thinking, oh, yeah, he's just sitting on the couch a lot, or just.
Yeah, I was.
He was a great actor, though.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I think it was actually on Gilbert Gottfried's show. I think when they had Phil Rosenthal as a guest, he was talking about it with Peter Boyle.
And then the last of the Hillbillies, well, the main Hillbillies,
Correct.
Max Baer Jr.
Junior, yes.
Yeah.
Because I got confused at first. I'm like, why do I know his name? Max Baer. Yeah, well, Max Baer Jr., son of the champion boxer Max Baer. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Because
that
I am
guy.
a huge boxing fan,
He's
yes.
a boxing
Yep.
guy.
Yeah, I am a huge boxing
He goes.
guy.
You go to Golden Gloves all the time, don't you?
All the time, yep.
Oh, excellent.
I know Floyd Mayweather. I've met George Foreman, so yeah, I'm huge in the boxing world.
Wow.
I love it.
Cool. Yeah, it's like I've never gone to a live boxing, seen boxing live just to, back in the day, watching boxing on HBO and seeing who Tyson was going to knock out that week, and then a bunch of us going out to the diner because, we weren't old enough to, go out drinking yet. We come back, and my friend's father says, Mike Tyson got knocked out. It's like, come on, really? And then
That's one thing I have is a Mike Tyson boxing glove, an Everlast boxing glove that's signed up on my cabinet in my kitchen.
oh wow,
That's ridiculous.
No, yeah. No, it's not ridiculous.
I never signed that. That's ridiculous.
oh
I do love boxing. Yeah.
oh yeah,
There was
But Max Baer Sr. was a boxing champion. Yeah.
There was a great bit on Jimmy Kimmel Live one time where they had like people on the street. I think it was when Tyson was doing his comeback or whatever, trying to. And he was asking people like, oh, what do you think about Tyson? And they'd be like, oh, he's too old. He's a pussy. Da, da, da. And then they would have Mike Tyson standing behind them without them knowing. And then he would just go, what'd you say? And they go, oh, nothing. I didn't say
Nothing, man. Nothing. I mean, what could they say, right?
Well, you're the best. You're the greatest. Go, go, go.
Yeah, I remember on one of the comedy roasts that Tyson was one of
Oh,
the.
he was getting pissed, dude.
He was one of the guests. He was on the what do you call it? With all the comedians.
The dais.
The dais, he's up there. Oh, and what was it? It was Seth Seth MacFarlane was the host.
Yeah.
It's like he's take on all comers and beat them all except the letter T.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh. But why don't we talk a little about Max Baer Jr. though?
oh my gosh, we get so far off the.
But that's the fun of it.
That is.
But Max Baer Jr. This was his, like what he was primarily known for, which also after a while kind of got to him as cousin Jethro. How would you describe Jethro?
Well, he's a 6th grade graduate.
Well, I don't know. What was he a graduate yet? I think he was in 6th grade.
They always talk about his 6th grade education.
Yeah, at Oxford.
It started at 5th grade, and then at some point he must have graduated 6th grade because they talk about his 6th grade education. Well, yeah, he's a. Well, they're all pretty simple. Let's be honest, they're all a little simple. But maybe the simplest of all would be old bright-eyed Jethro Bodine.
Yeah, like and he was always proud though to show off like his education, like talk about ciphers, like
big brain,
yeah. 2 and 2 is 4.
I got the biggest brain of everyone here.
So Jed would always say, "Hey, Jethro, tell them how you can do the gazintas."
Yes,
and Jethro would go, "Well, 1 goes into 1 once." 1 goes into 2 twice. And that's the gazintas. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, and if all of them were Jethro, this show would get real annoying. But I think they use Jethro just enough to where you don't hate him.
Jethro, I will say this, borderline Monroe.
Yeah.
He was a borderline Monroe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you had to just take doses of Jethro.
Yes. Yeah, and like even Ellie Mae didn't do a lot for me in this show. She's actually kind of underutilized, I feel like, in a lot of episodes.
I feel at the beginning she was used more with between like again the tomboy quality and she's ready to wrestle whomever, that and with the animals, all her critters.
Dr. fucking Doolittle over here.
Yeah, so but like that was sort of the beginning, and then and her bad cooking.
There was one episode, it was a 2-parter that I remember with Ellie Mae, because this hippie, and I can't remember the name of his real name that came through, but he kind of saw Ellie Mae and he was enthralled. So he kind of came upon Ellie Mae, and then all of a sudden...
Ew, he came upon her? Gross.
Hey now.
That came to Jethro, because Jethro thought that he was a descendant of Robin Hood. So it was a 2-parter, and it was one thing where Jethro thought he was part of Robin Hood's heritage, and he became...
Was Robin Hood real?
He became...
I don't think so.
I don't know, but in this episode it was. So anyway, he became the whole hero of the show, but Ellie Mae became part of the merry band, and then this hippie came through and saw Ellie Mae, and he was enthralled. But anyway, they heard that...
some certain assets, I can understand.
They heard that Granny smoked crawdads. And this hippie thought, well, if they're smoking crawdads, what is this? Some kind of hybrid weed or something that they're smoking? And
smoking crawdads.
I don't know if you ever saw it. Did you see that episode? It was
no,
a 2-parter.
I didn't see that one yet.
It was Jethro in Griffith Park.
Okay.
And so anyway, the whole thing came down to everybody started joining Jethro's band of the Merry Men because they wanted to smoke Granny's crawdads, and that was the whole thing about the whole thing. It was very funny. You got to watch it. Granny and Jethro and
which one, the Granny again? The young one?
Granny's the old person. But Jethro
the big guy.
and Griffith.
Granny.
Yeah, Granny.
Jethro and Griffith Park. I'm sorry. Whatever.
Grethro.
Grethro.
And
it was a funny episode, two-parter.
I got to check that one out. Like, I didn't watch any of the two-parters. Like when I just did the watch.
There's a lot. Like, they're not really multi-parters as in called part 1, part 2, but there are a lot of continuous.
Yes,
stories
that I did
this.
see. Like there was a lot of continuance of the story.
Well, and that's kind of the one thing I'll give this show props for, because when I realized, like, I love the Beverly Hillbillies, always have, but I didn't realize it was 9 seasons, and so I started watching it. I go, oh, this could get old quick.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I kind of like how they're always hopping around. Like, they're in Beverly Hills, and that they do that for a few seasons, but then they go to, like, England and New York, and then they're back in Missouri, and then they're owning a hotel, and then they're owning a movie studio, and like they do change it up quite a bit.
Yeah, they try to keep it fresh in that regard. Yeah,
but I also love, and they do help ground the show a lot, the other 2 main cast members we haven't gotten to yet. Drysdale,
who is
Raymond Bailey.
Raymond Bailey, yep,
right?
as Drysdale, and Nancy Culp as Hathaway, Miss
Hathaway. Which, like, in the pilot, she wasn't even billed. Like,
eventually they do give them opening credit billing, which I was glad. But it was really late. It was like, what, season 6 or 7, maybe? It came pretty late in the run that they added them to the opening where they're just kind of driving. But they're such an important part of this show.
Oh, especially very much so. Like
those 2 really are our window into the
correct
the Clampetts.
and it's interesting how from the pilot episode, how Mr. Drysdale is basically talking to his psychiatrist, like oh, okay, that the Clampetts are like driving him crazy, to the person that, oh no, like he'll go to any length to keep them happy, because he wants them to keep their money in his bank.
Exactly.
While his wife is she's trying to get them out of there.
Oh yeah.
But and why is that too? Do you remember?
Well, she just thinks it brings the neighborhood down, I thought, but.
Oh wait, they're in the same neighborhood?
They're neighbors. The Drysdales?
Yes.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Yeah, Drysdales and the Clampetts are actually neighbors.
Yeah. And she's not even in that many episodes, like 15 or something.
Yeah.
Did you see who else was also in like 14 episodes? That's kind of weird. And I kept waiting to see her talk, but I never saw her talk.
No.
Sharon Tate.
Really? I missed that.
Are you familiar with Sharon Tate?
Very much so.
She's in like 14 episodes of this, and I watched at least 2, but she didn't speak in them. So I don't know if she was just like later credited, like an extra, or if but she's in season 2 through 4.
Okay, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I was like, Sharon Tate's in this fucking show? And she was killed in 69, I think the murders happened.
Was it 69?
I don't want to go into the Manson murders.
Yeah.
It's a pretty sad fucking ending.
That's a totally different podcast.
Pretty sad fucking ending to a beautiful, unfortunately pregnant woman and her friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, Sharon Tate's in this fucking show? That's crazy. But she didn't speak in any of the ones that I happen to watch.
Okay.
She's in the Jackrabbit one, but I think at the end, I think like a crowd comes in the door or something, and she's like standing in the crowd. She's like a brunette, I think, in this.
Okay.
I was like, huh. So.
Okay, now I'm going to have to watch back.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to also mention, Cousin Pearl.
Cousin Pearl, she was great.
Yeah, because she takes a little more of a role also. I think it's more in season 2.
She's also not in many either, like
not
14,
many,
15, but something like that.
That's
another
Jethro's song
mom.
That was written by Paul Henning. Pearl, Pearl, Pearl. Remember that song when they sang that on Beverly Hillbillies? Pearl, Pearl, Pearl. That was a song that was written by Paul Henning for that show, too.
You ever had a
wow.
pearl necklace?
Huh?
You ever had a pearl necklace?
Hey now.
Not in this life, maybe in the last one.
A couple hours, I'll show you.
Jeez.
Have another beer.
All right, get me one. He's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Should I say that?
No, you, please go ahead.
Hey, I'm
like I said,
editor,
I've known
right?
him for 17 years, Nick. I'm sorry.
No.
Pearl.
So he
Pearl.
definitely knows I'm
It
a
was
piece of
it was a
shit.
classic song on the Beverly Hillbillies, but oh well. Like
Wow.
I said, I grew up with that show. I love it.
Pearl was a fun character though, and I think I remembered her. She was on a lot of shows. I think back then as like kind of like a guest. I remember her. I feel like she was on I Love Lucy even. She just has one of those faces. You go, I know you.
Correct.
Know? Well, and Hathaway there, Nancy Culp. She was a voice on Aristocats. She was the horse in the Disney classic Aristocats.
Oh, very cool. Yes,
She's got that very, very proper talk, very.
Yes, the Aristocats, which was also part of the Disney years where they just reused footage. I don't know if you know about this one.
Oh,
Basically,
the Jungle Book and Sword and
Jungle
Stone.
Book, Aristocats, Robin Hood. It's like if you look at some of the musical numbers and that, and like the dancing and that, it's like, wait, that's the same one as that. Oh, wait, they're just reusing and just drawing over.
I think the one I saw was Mowgli in the Jungle Book, kind of jumping through the jungle, and the kid in Sword and the Stone.
Oh, right, Sword and
They
the Stone
like
as well.
overlapped
Yeah.
them, and it was the exact same animation.
Yep.
Walking through the woods.
The cutting corners years of Disney.
Those are still some pretty great movies, though.
Exactly.
Sword
Actually,
and
some
Stone's
of the
great.
ones
Jungle
we said.
Book's one of my favorites. Robin Hood.
That was a classic. Yeah.
Oh,
Robin Hood's a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah. Actually, those two like movies also have some of my some of the music I love from Disney movies, like King Louis, like Louis Prima there.
I'm the king of the swingers. The
Exactly.
Jungle VIP. I reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. Ooby-doo. I want to be like you. You know what's funny? Robin Hood, a lot of, like furries who are into, like,
Yeah.
people wearing costumes. A lot of furries say that Disney's Robin Hood, like, gave them the
Idea. Yeah.
yeah, like they were sexually attracted to Disney's Robin Hood and made merry and shit.
There we go. And
boy.
now the cat's out of the bag. Oh, or the box. I don't know.
They need to
Sorry.
put the cat back in that fucking bag. That's a scary bag.
You know what, you guys? Could I backtrack 1 second?
Oh yeah.
Back to Max Bear Jr.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Jethreen?
Was she related to Paul Henning? Because her last name was Henning.
Do you remember Jethreen?
Are you talking about him in drag?
Yes.
I didn't see that those episodes.
Because there's also a Jethreen that's credited, and it's a Henning, a woman named Henning.
Oh.
So I thought maybe it was Paul's like
Jethreen
sister.
was
or
a
something.
character in that series.
Right.
Oh.
I do. I didn't rewatch any of those, but I do remember him in drag. So when I saw the cast list and I saw Jethreen and a woman's name, I was a little confused.
That was Max Bear Jr. dressed in drag. Yeah,
And which is kind of
that
odd.
was a character actually in Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh wow. Yeah, because I also remember one of the episodes that I watched was where Jethro proposes to Miss Hathaway. And
Yes,
yeah, and Granny is sitting at the next table at the restaurant, and she's looking like all like Charlie Chaplin-esque or something. I'm like, okay, well, it's like the Beverly cross-dressing hillbillies here, I guess.
that's funny. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, I mean, back in the 1960s. I mean, who would have thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, what? Look at
I'm
Linda.
sorry to bring that up,
Look
but
at-
I mean, I couldn't resist.
16 episodes. Linda Henning, Jethreen Bodine.
Jethreen Bodine, yeah.
Who is this then?
But it was Jethro, though.
Right. Which is why I was very confused by this on the... But it says soundtrack. Was there a different voice? Did it have his voice or a woman's voice?
I'm almost positive it was the same voice. I'm almost positive.
Unless, maybe this woman played the voice? I don't know. But,
And I mean, I
The
watched
mystery
all
of
those,
Jethrine.
I watched all those episodes, so I could have swore that was him.
well, and that's, of course, I saw the last name Henning, so I was like, maybe it's, but I don't know. Well, this is one of the shows that when the first 3 seasons were black and white, by season 4 we're in color.
I thought it was actually the first 2 seasons were black and white. I thought it started in 3.
Season 3 is also black and white, unless it started midway or something, but...
Oh, okay. You know what? I thought when I was watching, it's like, I thought it started with 3. Okay, it was 4?
Mm-hmm.
You know what we could talk about, too, is the characters that intertwined between the Beverly Hillbillies, and Green Acres and Petticoat Junction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there was a lot of intertwining between all 3 of those, because they pretty much started in the same time frame and ended in the same time frame.
Well, Green Acres is just the inverse of Beverly Hillbillies. It's rich people going to the country as opposed to country people going to the city.
That's true. That is very true.
Or at least,
that is very true.
Gabor, like, like her character was the city person.
Yeah, Paul Henning was like, I need another show. I just flip-flop the shit. Fuck it.
That guy must have made some money.
Oh, yeah.
But which ones overlapped, Kent? Like, who was in, like more than one of the shows?
Oh, boy. Sam Drucker. Sam Drucker was in all 3 of those.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Granny called him in that episode I was talking about earlier, like off camera, when we were talking about where Mr. Drysdale and Ellie Mae's bear, dressed as a hippie, are
Max Bear?
Yeah, Max Bear.
I think actually, didn't Granny try to marry? Wasn't she after Sam Drucker?
Yes. Oh yeah, she was she was hot for Sam.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
Not the butcher.
Betty Jo.
That was Alice.
Betty Jo from Petticoat Junction. She was in all 3 because I think Granny came back to Hooterville because Betty Jo was going to have a baby. I think that was one of the episodes too of Beverly Hillbillies.
Very cool. You know, I probably just missed that one in the one I was talking about. Because they talk about Petticoat Junction. Because
it's... You know what? I'm feeling really old now.
Hey, I'm with you, so...
Huh? What?
Now?
Now, yeah. But yeah, that was my childhood, and I loved those shows. So they are all intertwined. I love that.
The Clampett Mansion still exists.
It does. It does.
It's still out there.
Wow.
You can see it looks gorgeous as can be. I saw an aerial shot and they were like, hey, there's no cement pond in the back.
With stairs so the cows can go down. Yeah.
Well, they rented that house from the actual owners for $500 a day back in the 60s.
Wow.
Which I have to imagine is a reason maybe they went to... Let's go do a season in England so we don't got to pay $500 a day for the
Exactly.
One thing I always wish, though, is if I could get a hold of one of Granny's big jugs that had the XXX on it.
Oh, right.
And
her white lightning
take a
jugs.
couple swigs off of that.
Hey, don't Google...
It was called the Spring Tonic, and every year on the Beverly Hillbillies, the Spring Tonic was something extra.
Don't Google XXX and Granny's jugs.
You will get a slightly different return on that.
You're not going to like what you find.
No. That's funny.
You're not going to like the return on that one.
Turn my stomach?
Yeah, no shit. But the mansion's still there. I saw a YouTube video that was only like 9 months ago or something. Someone did a bunch of picture, kind of a collage of it. So you can see what it looks like today. But I think it was built in the 30s or something.
Wow.
So that one was around that's been around a while. Well, did you read? I'm sure you read about the Rural Purge. We should talk a little bit about CBS and the Rural Purge.
Well, why don't you go into that? Because
especially by the end of the 1971 season, CBS, they said it was under pressure from advertisers who wanted to target more of an urban demographic, and all of the CBS shows at that point were what they called rural. So they ended up canceling all of these shows, in which one of the actors from Green Acres, he had a quote, something like, CBS canceled every show with a tree. If your show had a tree, it was canceled. And I think it was including like Mayberry RFD, was it Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies. They said even Lassie was canceled.
Wow.
And Ed Sullivan. Ed Sullivan.
He said the Ed Sullivan Show.
Wow.
Yeah, that was big. Ed Sullivan. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Ed Sullivan got wrapped up in the the Rural Purge.
Yeah, believe it or not. Purge. Yeah.
But yeah, they I'm sure they just used advertisers as an excuse, because whatever. But this show was not loved by critics either. So critics panned the show.
At the beginning, especially, they really were not on board. They were accused of being a little too highbrow in their criticism. So,
but it was a huge hit.
Yeah, again, number one
to
for
go
the first
9
2 seasons.
Huge. Again, I reiterate. Think of what a simple concept the Beverly Hillbillies is. For this show to go 9 seasons is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And to go from the premiere within 3 weeks, from 3 weeks to number 1, that's huge. That's huge.
This would be such an easy concept to go stale really quick.
Very much so, yeah. And I'll be honest, when I watched the first, like, the pilot and the first episode, I'm like, I hope they go a little more in depth with the characters, because it's like, I don't remember it being like just a little too, not one-notish.
But it was still
And I'll tell you one thing about Beverly Hillbillies. I will never forget the episode, one of the first ones, where Ellie Mae was up in a tree and she had a bra. And she thought it was a double-barreled slingshot.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Really? I mean, how much of a hick can you be to believe that?
And this show was in the top 10 for 7 of its 9 seasons.
It was. Yep. Yes, it was. It's a classic.
But let's jump on something like interrelated with this. The musical aspect of it. We already talked about Flats and Scruggs, who apparently, they did more music. One of the other cousins that would come on every once in a while, like Cousin Roy. Do you remember that one, Kent?
With the guitar.
Yeah. Do you know who that was? Cousin Roy.
I do not.
Roy Clark.
Are you kidding me?
Roy Clark of Hee Haw.
I did not know that.
Yep. Yeah. That was Roy Clark.
That's amazing. I did not know that.
Who is, again, I say, Hee Haw and that. But if you watch, go on YouTube and watch videos of Roy Clark playing guitar, like a lot of modern guitarists will go on and like, holy crap. He was a fantastic guitarist. But
he was in some of the later ones, I think I saw.
Yeah.
Well,
did he show up mostly at the end of the show?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know what
because there were a few episodes where I go, why are we all of a sudden taking a 4-minute guitar break?
Well, that's an artist too, but Buddy Ebsen, did you ever see Buddy Ebsen dance? That guy is amazing in country music dancing. That guy's amazing.
Well,
amazing.
I think we've actually mentioned a couple of times how a lot of the actors back then, they had to be multifaceted. They couldn't just be an actor. You had to be an actor, a singer, a dancer, a comedian. You had to have more.
You had to be a quadruple threat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
Otherwise,
And
you
they
weren't
didn't,
going to get
they
hired.
didn't make anything. I mean, they made pretty much nothing for doing it, too.
And on top of it, you
Man.
better do your own stunts, too, because we're not going to pay enough to hire you a stunt.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, except I will say the one stunt I watched, I'm like, yeah, that's not Granny. It's when they set up the swinging rope in the kitchen because Bessie, the chimp, was using it while Granny was away. She was like the chimp was cooking for Jethro.
One of my...
So at like later, Granny is using that to swing around the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, that's not Granny. Like, 'cause you catch like the side profile of the person. It's like, yeah, that ain't Granny.
One of my favorite running bits was whenever Granny runs, how her shoes smoke.
Oh yeah,
She's running so fast, her shoes are smoking.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and actually, it's like a kind of a little bit of a callback to the I think it was the first episode, like the pilot, where she went to like put out a fire, and Jed's like, Granny, are you forgetting something? It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to ruin my shoes, so she's putting out a fire barefoot.
Yeah. My other favorite running gag was Jethro knows nothing about sex. Like, clearly he's a virgin because he doesn't understand shit. And it always ends with, like, Jed going, I gotta have a talk with that boy. He's talking about some girl. Oh, I heard she's pretty fast. You know, he's talking about racing her. He's like, okay.
I'm going to have a long talk with you, boy.
Yeah. Or when he joins the military academy and Ellie Mae's like, can I join too? And he's like, what would a bunch of soldiers want with a girl like you? Gonna have a long talk with that boy.
But going back to the music, here's a couple more. Did you know that they had a soundtrack album which featured actually Buddy Epson, Irene Ryan, and Donna Douglas? They each recorded some songs, and they released a novelty single called Granny's Miniskirt.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either, but I was looking, I'm like, what?
Well, the theme song,
funny, though.
the theme song itself reached number 44 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Yes.
And number 1 on the Country Hot 100.
Yep.
The song was a
Didn't
fucking
know that
hit.
either.
Yeah, the song itself was a huge hit.
Yeah.
The theme.
That's why I wanted to just get into the music a little bit, because it's like, wait, what?
Well, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs they were hot anyway before that.
In 1989, Weird Al Yankovic, for his UHF soundtrack, did a parody of the Beverly Hillbillies theme, and it's a parody of Money for Nothing.
We had a taco today.
And your chicks for free?
We had a taco today that was called the Weird Al taco.
Oh, really?
Remember? Did you like the Weird Al taco we had today?
That was good.
It had like pineapple.
Oh, don't tell Nick that story.
Pineapple and shit on it?
Really? Okay, that's different.
Kent and I go to this place. It's called, I won't say what it's called, but it's a taco and tequila bar.
That was very good.
Sweet.
So we walk in, and I'm looking at the menu, and I ordered a margarita. She goes, oh, we got this new dragon fruit. I was like, okay, margarita. And I ordered 2 tacos off this menu. And then fucking, hot little waitress takes my order. Kent's right behind me. He goes, oh, I'll take these 2 tacos and this margarita. He literally ordered the exact same margarita.
I didn't know
both
that he was
exact
ordering
fucking
that.
tacos I got. And I was like, great, Kent. Now that she thinks we're a gay couple over here. And she goes, oh, it's so cute. You guys ordered the same thing. I was like, God damn it, Kent.
Why do people go that way? I mean, I forgot my wedding ring, for God's sake.
Yeah, he left his wedding ring at home. Okay.
Oh, well. But anyway, Beverly Hillbillies, I can't wait to see where you guys rate this show. I really can't.
And why don't we, do you have anything else to add, Jay?
There was a reunion movie. We should mention that. In 1981, Granny was already passed. They did a reunion movie where I think they moved back to Missouri. If I remember right. I think it's called The Return of the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes.
And then there was something, was it in the 90s? Like The Legend of the Beverly Hillbillies or something, where they said they ended up changing some kind of canon.
Yeah, like I read about that. It's like, yeah, The Legend of the Beverly Hillbillies, like that special ignored some of the plot twists from the television film. So,
okay. So maybe
yeah.
the reunion movie changed some things, and then they changed it back, perhaps?
But yeah, that's what it sounds like.
But the movie's available on DVD from Amazon as well.
I will mention this, though. Max Baer Jr. is the only living person of that show left.
Correct.
Oh, Donna Douglas died? What'd she die of?
Yes.
They're all passed except for Max Baer Jr.
What did she die of? You know?
After the first year of the Beverly Hillbillies, they said that because of Donna Douglas, that the product of genes went up like 200%.
I believe it.
Because of her wearing those jeans with the cord around there, and that it went up exponentially. Yeah,
I would think the Duke girl, Daisy Duke, but
Catherine Bach.
It was Donna Douglas back then. Oh my gosh, that was further on.
And actually, you know what? One other tidbit before I give you the death piece of Donna Douglas that you want there, Jay. Did you know, actually, Donna Douglas and her partner, Kurt Wilson, filed a lawsuit against Walt Disney for the movie Sister Act? Because...
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Because, actually, they had written an actual screenplay based on the original book some years prior, and they cited that, hey, a lot of this is coming from our screenplay. What's going on here? But they wound up, unfortunately, losing to Disney.
Wow. There actually was a guy...
I didn't know that.
There was a guy who sued the show, too, sued CBS, because he had written a script called Country Cousins that he said was very similar to what became the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, Country Cousins sounds like a very different show.
Well, not Kissing Cousins, Country Cousins. But they paid him a good amount of money to just go away. So there might have been a little bit of truth in that.
Yeah.
What channel was that on? Was it CBS or ABC that Beverly Hillbillies
CBS.
was on?
CBS.
Was it
yes.
CBS?
The Tiffany Network. Yeah, apparently, though, Donna Douglas and her partner, Kurt Wilson, they were offered, here's $1 million, just take it, just settle the case. They refused, and they found in favor of Walt Disney for the case, and Kurt Wilson wound up saying it's like they would have had to copy our stuff verbatim for us to actually win.
Yeah, because Sister Act was a Touchstone movie, and Touchstone's a Disney company.
Yes, that's correct. And just for your information, Donna Douglas died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 82.
Damn. Oh, that's sad. 82?
82.
Well, she had a good life then.
Yeah, she passed away January 1st, 2015.
Oh.
So,
how old is Max Baer now, Jr.?
Oh, Max Baer Jr. is, what is he, like 85 now? Yeah, he was born in 37. Late 37.
And a lot of those characters, unfortunately, were typecast, so they really didn't do much beyond that.
Correct. Yeah, and that's going back to that, the return of their Beverly Hillbillies. Max Baer Jr. did not come back because he was he was a little tired of being typecast as Jethro.
Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So another guy, Ray Young, played Jethro in that.
Stop kicking shit, Jesus.
I'm not trying to. I mean, how many series have ended that way with sitcoms where people have ended like that? Gilligan's Island. I mean,
they never got a finale, right?
Yeah. How many others have been like that? That's sad.
It's true.
That is sad.
Well, Gilligan got a finale, I guess, later with Rescue from Gilligan's Island.
Yeah,
another TV movie.
They had multiple TV movies for Gilligan's Island. Yeah, Rescue, Return to Gilligan's Island. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was a bunch. But
right.
I believe at that time, what was it? Tina Louise didn't want to return as Ginger, right?
She was not in the rescue movie. No,
Yeah.
It was a different actress played Ginger.
It's okay. I was a Marianne guy.
Fucking Marianne died of COVID. Sad.
Yeah,
That is.
Darn
Marianne
wells.
Ginger. I mean, that debate will always linger.
yeah.
Well, if you had to give Kent a rating for the Beverly Hillbillies, say 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, 1 being terrible, what rating would you give the Beverly Hillbillies? I mean, we are...
I like Beverly Hillbillies, but I've watched so many very good sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be 7, 8.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
70 to 80%, pretty good.
Yeah,
Well-
there's too many other good sitcoms that I've seen that would be over that, but yeah, 7, 8, somewhere in there.
Well,
How about you guys?
yeah. On that note, Jay, where on your list, where do you put the Beverly Hillbillies?
This is our almost said 79th, our 39th show we have covered so far. I was looking at my list. I'm thinking, I was falling around F Troop. I'm like, I still love F Troop a lot more. I feel like Mary Tyler Moore is just below that. Modern Family, so good. Father Ted, a show we just discovered this year, and I love. I ended up throwing this at number 16, sandwiched between Father Ted at 15 and The Addams Family, which I think is a pretty fair comparison at 17.
Okay.
I think I do like this a little more than The Addams Family, but not much. I love The Addams Family, of course, but
Yeah, I was. Again, we also brought it up on the episodes that we watched for Addams Family and Munsters.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up a Munsters fan, but in retrospect, watching, it's like, oh, the Addams Family was a much better.
That's what we both
show.
discovered is we thought we liked the Munsters more, and then we ended up liking the Addams Family
a
more
lot
than the
more.
Munsters. Yeah.
But for me, I actually put it like a little under Andy Griffith.
Okay, and that was a little lower for you.
Yeah, but I put it 1 below Different Strokes and 1 above What's Happening, actually. At
What number?
It's 26.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's like I feel bad, but like some of the rural ones seem to not go as high on my list. Like it's a few below F Troop.
That's why I thought it felt close to Addams Family for me, because it is very repetitive. Like, Addams Family repeated the same jokes over and over
Oh,
again.
yeah, they did.
This
but
one
they did it in a good way, too.
Right. Well, this one is repetitive
As
to
well.
an extent, but at least they don't really take the same exact jokes over and over again.
Mhm.
It's just the idea is repetitive.
Right. Yeah, the base of it, but then they turn it into something else. Yeah, Addams Family, I have at 20. So, Addams Family, F Troop, it's like, 24 I have Andy Griffith. So 26 I have Beverly Hillbillies. So they're around the same area.
Well, who do you agree with more on this one, Kent?
Okay, I have to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you agree more on Jay, more with Jay on this one.
No. You guys, I respect both of your guys' opinions, but this is my first time on your podcast. So for me, 7th or 8th, I really like Beverly Hillbillies, but if you have me on again and I do 4, 5, 10 shows, it might be a different thing, where they move up on the rating.
Yeah.
But for now, I still stand with 7th or 8th because I really do like Beverly Hillbillies. But hopefully you guys have me on again. But I respect your guys' opinion.
But I'd love to have you on again for, if you want to say, the trilogy. Petticoat Junction and Green Acres would definitely be great to have you back so we can talk about and.
That show, if we do a Petticoat one, though, we will be bathing in a giant water tower, right, basin?
All right. Only if you have Betty Joe here.
I mean, I can put a wig on. It's fine. I can be Jay Threen.
No, Jeffrey.
Jay Threen. I'm Jay.
You guys
Threen.
are great. I love you guys.
I got the tits for it.
Yeah, thank you for being our guest tonight too, Kent. Like,
thank you.
This has been great.
Thank you guys. Seriously, thank you guys.
But Jay, if people want to get in touch with us and like give their opinions where Beverly Hillbillies lands on their chart, what should they do?
Email us at sitcommyface@gmail.com. Find us on X? Question mark? Twitter? At sitcommyface? I don't know what it's called anymore. They changed the name, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Facebook.com/sitcommyface. You can find us on you can find me on Twitch at BidwellFog or twitch.tv/BidwellFog. You can find him twitch.tv/netnick191. That's also his Twitter X handle.
Yes. Twex, I don't know.
It's a whole new fucking world over
I don't know.
there. I don't know.
Depending on how you pronounce the X, you know, like the Chinese pronounce it more of a sh, so it becomes shit. Oh, sorry.
That's 2 X's short for granny, so can't be that good. But yeah,
you guys are awesome.
In the meantime, you know what? Have you ever asked anyone to sitcom your face before, Kent?
You know what? I know one cheek, but now I know the other cheek. Thank you, guys.
Can you tell everyone out there to sitcom your face, please?
Sitcom my face.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Woo-hoo!
Guys, thank you. My name's Kent Rowan. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, now start sucking.
You're an awesome guy, man. I still love you.
You know what? I got that last piece right there before it ended the stream.